I got to know that if you're fixing something, just don't look at the thing you're fixing it. I mean, there could be other things which could affect because of the thing which you're fixing.
Guys, so I'd love to welcome Amith. Amith, welcome to the Alumni Show. I think let's start off with a quick introduction to yourself, like a little bit about you. Everyone would love to know.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm from Karnataka basically, and well, I did my engineering in Bangalore in BMSIT in computer science. So freshly after that, I was placed in Byjus as a front-end developer. And well, I started working in Byjus from July last year. So from there, I worked there for 3 to 4 months, I guess, till I was laid off. I was laid off in November, actually, November of last month. And yeah, pretty much after that, it was downhill for a few months. Like I was not getting any opportunities. Like even if I got opportunities, the requirements were something else and all. And then I got to know about Sharpener. So Sharpener really helped me a lot, and the course structure and the interviews they got me. So yeah, and then after that in July I was placed in Baliza, and since then I've been working in Baliza.
Awesome. Yeah. So I mean, would love to understand a few things. As in, so you. I think a very common question which we normally ask everyone is when did you start coding, Amith? Like how good of a coder were you?
Well, I started coding in my second year of engineering, I guess. I started building, I was really into mobile applications. So I started building some I started from a calculator app and so on. I started building very minute projects, which would take just a few days of my time and understand how the project would work. So that really piqued my interest into mobile development, and that like I started with Flutter and then was working with React Native. But after that, due to my interest in front end, the UI basically. So when I was placed in Byjus, when I started working in Byjus, due to my previous experiences in UI. They got me in the front end team, and yeah, so that's how it started.
So Amith, I also wanted to understand over here, say, okay, you've joined Byjus, you're working over there, okay, but as a software engineer, okay, normally I tell all my students as well, there would be times when you'll mess up, okay, so any mess ups which you would want to talk about, Amith?
Well, obviously, yeah. So I mentioned about the production code, right? Being scared of it. So actually, what I was, when I was assigned any issues, I was just going issue to issue. So just going through that particular code at once. So I would just find where the bug is or where the feature needs to be fixed, and that's where I would consider my issue on, and would just move on to the next issue after that. I didn't look at the code as a whole. So when I was working in a such issue, so I was in the Akash Byjus team actually. So they have live classes and all for premium students. So they had this option of a recording class, and I was fixing an issue that issue was fixed. We tested. The backend team. The testing team tested the whole thing, and we did manual tests as well. So everything was working perfectly fine. And the code was eventually pushed into production. So into production, after just 2 days into production, there so many tickets were raised by the students that the recordings of the classes were not there. What I did was when I was trying to fix the issue, I just created another issue. I created a thing where there was a bot. There was a bot which would just join the class anonymously and then record the whole thing. So I made an issue such that the bot could not join the class. So obviously there would be no recording. Even if the recording would be there, the recording would be of the landing screen of the class. So that issue got elaborated, and then just in a week's time we had nearly 600 to 700 tickets, I guess, just because of an issue I made. It was an organization wide, a big change to be made. So yeah, we worked on it, and then it was a good experience. Actually, I got to know what I was going wrong, and then I got to know that if you're fixing something, just don't look at the thing you're fixing it. I mean, there could be other things which could affect because of the thing which you're fixing. So yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from there.
Like one thing which I have also seen, okay, like so, this is a common thing which I also tell a lot of Sharpenerians as well. Okay, there would be times when you will mess up, okay, because when you're coding, okay, in production environment, okay, like up to the time you don't do that first mess up, okay. You cannot call yourself a strong coder, okay. So that first mess up is like that very important phase, okay. So, I mean, I want to understand like how was it handled by your manager or anyone? Like, as in, how did you handle such a situation? Like, I am guessing a lot of pressure might have come.
Well, actually, no. The team lead I had was great. Like he was really great. So he handled all the blame, and there was not much blame actually. Just it was bit of a more work for the backend team because they had to even if there were some classes which were not recording, the same chapters would be recorded by some other students. I mean, other teachers. So those classes were mapped to this missing classes. So that was done in like what 2 to 3 days. That was solved. Like that was fine. But the thing was like even if you say about the mess up, it depends upon the mess up as well, right? Like you cannot just say that I did the whole thing. I mean, I just did this. Like this is a this was a basic thing. That's fine. Like again, the mess up also matters. So this was handled well, and even during the meetings with the skip level manager and all, the team lead was like, okay, this was my fault. I didn't test it properly. He didn't give up the name anywhere. So that was pretty great. Yeah.
That's really great. As in, that's what like I was reading like this like a book on, I think some Mark Zuckerberg's quote was there. Okay, wherein he was also talking about when in the initial Facebook days. Okay, there is a saying now like move fast and break things. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like so they talk about this situations, okay, like wherein you break things, but your infrastructure should be such that it should be able to detect before this goes to production.
Yeah.
So that's a really good thing which the tech industry has, okay. A blame, like say like if you make a mistake, okay, from your side as a junior developer, the senior software engineers over here, they tend to re-engineer it and try to understand what they could have done better in the same infrastructure so that they prevent a similar situation to happen again.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's really good about I think the tech industry altogether. Yeah. So guys, Amith, I would want to know like basically I would want to know more things like coming to when you were working at Byjus, okay. You've done mess ups, okay. Like I think one mess up only is what you've done, right? Like I don't think there is more, or there more which you want to talk about.
No, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
That's it, right? After the first mess up, I think everyone gets into the right line. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we tend to understand the whole thing, right? Yeah.
Correct. So, Amit, like from there, okay, like we would love to know. Okay, everyone would love to know how did it, how did the layoff thing started off? Like what went eventually led to the layoff bit? Like what was the reason?
Well, there was a rumor going around in Byjus, and we had this weekly meets with our team, the Akash Byjus team. We were some 40 odd people, and then we had a Fun Friday meeting actually. So during that meet, our skip level manager used to go used to talk about all the things, the sensitive things, and whatever was going through the whole organization. So one such Friday, he was like, you guys might have heard about this rumor, and but don't worry, Akash Byjus is the most profitable company in the Byjus organization. So there won't be any cuts in our team, and that too, like in the front end of Akash Byjus, we were just 3 people, including our team lead. So I was like, there's no chance of letting go of me, because there are just 3 front end people, and if they let go of me, 2 cannot handle the whole pressure. So that was what I thought. And It was going well, and I had a feature release actually. So I worked on the daily practices and worksheets for the premium students, and yeah. So I mean, the coding part was done. It was into testing, and the testing result would come back on that day. I got a meet with the. I mean, I got a mail saying that one-on-one manager. So I mean, before that as well, in that week, whoever had this one-on-one call was laid off. So I was like, okay, my time with Byjus is over, and I was like, when I got this mail, I just called my team members and I was like, guys, nice working with you and all. So yeah, I joined the meet, and the lead HR was there with the manager. They were like, Amit, we are so sorry, but due to the organization changes, they said organization changes because like they were shifting the whole thing from SD to I guess what yeah, some other coding, yeah. So yeah, they were like, organization changes, we have to let you go. Just that, and the HR was like, I lead you how to resign from the company. They wanted me to resign. They were not gonna lay me off. So they wanted me to resign. They asked me to share my screen, go to our portal, and then in the portal just go to this place and resign, saying that uh, just give a random reason, and they asked me to resign myself. So that's what I did, and I served my notice period, and that was it. Like, I didn't know what it was. I mean, I had worked well. The code was into production. I mean, just few days after, my team lead texted me on WhatsApp saying that your code is into production, and everyone liked it. I didn't know what I was doing wrong, but I guess that's it. That's what ideal life is. I mean, we cannot do much about it.
Getting you, Amith. So, Amith, like, so it was only these things, you joined the meeting and the HR was like, there was no other, like, there were no other questions which you could have asked, right?
There were no other questions. Yeah.
Getting you. Like, I have honestly also not been a part of this, so I'm also not very sure. I'm also like, I have also not experienced it, so would love to know more things about it. So, how does this layoffs thing actually work? As in, like, you get laid off, any like severance package or anything which also comes associated with it? Like, how does it work?
That depends again. So if you are gonna resign, which most companies ask you to. So if you are gonna resign, then you would serve your notice period, and then for the notice period, you would be given your salary. But if you're like, I won't resign, and whatever you want to, like, you can fire me. If they'll fire me according to the like Indian rules, like, they should pay us 3 months of our salary as an advance, severance pay. So that is how it should be. But I guess most of the people choose the resignation way because that won't be. I mean, that will be handled smoothly by your company. Then if you're gonna ask for your review by the older company when you're joining something new, that'll go well. Like, if you're gonna ask for like, I'll be fired instead of being resigning, like, instead of me resigning. So yeah, I mean, it depends upon perspectives again, like whatever people wish for. So I chose this way. Yeah.
Like, what were your reason? Like, mostly it was because the HR would give a good feedback about you when you join some
Well,
other organization.
I was like, I was given a joining bonus actually. I was given a joining bonus which was more than my 3 months pay. So I thought, like, if they let their rule was, the Byjus rule was, if you're gonna leave the company before 1 year, then you have to pay the advance. I mean, the joining bonus back. So I just asked them this thing, that should I give the advance back? Like, they were like, no. So I didn't ask for the severance pay. I was like, okay, let me go. Yeah.
Okay, understanding. Understand. So, Amit, like, how did you, like? Okay, so this phase is difficult. Okay, getting fired or getting laid off is always a difficult phase in life. Okay, like, obviously there are times when it's unavoidable. Okay, because of the economic times or whatever. Okay, and if you're a techie, there is a chance also, like, when you might get laid off. Okay, there is a chance, okay, for that as well. So love to understand ki, like, how do you handle such a situation, like, if it comes, like, what was your life like after you got laid off?
Well, yes, to be true, I didn't understand the seriousness of the situation for like 2 to 3 weeks after getting laid off. I was like, okay, I got laid off. I don't have the daily work now, and I have some like what saved up money with me. I'll just chill for a while and then start looking for jobs. That's what I did. But after when I started searching for, I guess like after just 1 week of or getting laid off, I had an interview opportunity, and that went well. I went through for 3 rounds of interviews, and the HR didn't call me back. That was my first hit of reality. Like I called her for like 1 or 2 weeks continuously. She didn't call me back, or she didn't mail me anything. So that was how it was happening. Like after that, I used to reach out to companies on LinkedIn or their career portals, wherever it was possible. I just applied it everywhere, applied for the jobs everywhere, but nothing was happening. Nothing was moving forward. So I guess from December to Jan or February, yeah, December to February, for 3 months, I guess I've applied for more than 250 companies, and I've just heard back from 10 to 15 companies at most. Most of them for I'm sorry, we cannot go forward with your application. And few of them were for interviews. And even during the interviews, how they would ask was like, I had an experience of 4 to 5 months in front end. So they would ask me questions like how they would be asking for someone with more than 2 years of experience, some very advanced things and all. And even if I did well with the interviewer as well, they said that in the final round or in the after many rounds, the HR would be like, I'm sorry, you don't have much experience, but so we cannot go forward with your application. I cleared all the interviews, and they would
Getting a point.
they would say
Yeah.
you don't have much experience. So that was how it was, and this was just an endless cycle. This is how it was going, like on and on and on. So I didn't know what to do, and I pretty sure like gave up what applying on my own. So that was when I what uh, that was when I got to know about Sharpener, and yeah, here I am.
Getting you. So, Amit, I think so. Like this was like I think that time also. Like I think that like since the last 1 year, like since the time there's a little recession phase going on. Okay, I think like this is kind of become a structure as well, wherein what is happening is companies are basically interviewing someone. Okay, and since there's so many people that I think that time that a lot of people are getting laid off from Amazon, from a lot of companies as well. I think so that phase.
Yeah.
So companies, I think so there was a huge pool of candidates who were applying every day. Yeah, and companies had so many choices. Now, like even if your interview goes well, they might interview someone else. They'll get someone else at the same price point, who's like 2 years experienced.
Yeah.
So I think that's where a lot of companies are playing all these tips and tricks. Yeah.
Well, that's true as well. And a few companies were like, due to the large pool of what people being there, being out there, people would be like, the companies would be like, they just give you internship opportunities, saying that if you perform well in the internship, we'll convert your job into full time and then pay you such salary. But after the internship period, they will not pay you anything. They will just let you go, doing like making you do all the work they have and then paying you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty bad as well. Yeah.
Getting you. Like so, Amit. This is definitely has been happening in the industry, but I'll say like people who even get internships. Okay, like what I've seen is like obviously if your salary is like your expectation is way too high, and if the company is not performing, like in software engineers I'm talking about, like in general with software engineers, what I've seen is if you get internships, okay, and if the company is also doing fairly well, okay, in terms of revenue, okay, I've seen most of the companies hire for full time as well, because like software engineering, unlike other roles, okay, like wherein unlike say like sales or marketing, okay, in software engineering, what I normally tell my students is you kind of create your own tech debt, okay, like what,
Yeah.
like basically when you start working, the initial few days you will not be as good as of a developer. Okay, but within like say 6 7 months, yeah, within three to 4 months of your internship, you'll learn so many things na, that the company can, if they let go of you, na, they'll hire someone else as an intern, but he'll not be able to give as much as an output as you'll do, because you'll learn so many new things, right? So like, so there is a mixed thing. Obviously, like if the company has promised you something, like if they promise you like say a big salary, and if the company is also not doing well revenue wise, then they'll obviously play around with this. They'll hire you as an intern, get the job done, fire you, then hire someone else.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll say most of the companies don't do it, because
Yeah.
in the end, like when you become good at delivering stuff, that is not the right time to fire you. Like that is the time when
Yeah.
you'll actually be value for money, and you've also proven yourself, right? So yeah, ठीक है, Amit. So Amit, now would want to understand your journey with Sharpener a little bit. As in, I would want to understand how were you planning things, because this is something which a lot of other Sharpenerians would want to know. Ki how were you planning your day? Okay, what was your structure to it? Okay, so and like over the period, like what did you understand? Ki this could be a better structure. Like any improvement which you saw.
Okay. So again, like as I was saying, I was still applying for companies when I joined Sharpener as well. So I mean, to be really true, what when I signed up for Sharpener and then started working on things like I mean, they had you had a 14 days period, I guess, to sign the LSA after joining, after starting working. So I was like, I'll just look into some other opportunities within those 14 days, but I didn't get any. And then I started I signed the LSA, and but what I was still looking for jobs elsewhere. So none of that was working actually. And well, after signing the LSA also, I didn't started working actually for some one and a half month, I guess. So when I started was by mid Feb or end of Feb, and since then I started working on it, and then that really helped me. Like one good decision I took during my during my early days in Sapna was I really like went through the course well. I mean, that helped me revise the concepts which I knew already, and also get to know about the new concepts. It has everything basically. So that's what helped me really well, to get through the interviews. And then after that, I could just it's so perfectly timed as well, when few things should be introduced and when few things should be not, like everything, the whole thing. So that's when I got to know about like how to work on a project in a whole. So yeah, it went really well, and I did the course for some 2 months, I guess. And the way the way the mentors take the interviews as well. If you'll do anything wrong, they'll let you know properly in a way you could understand. That's very needed for someone who has a very little interview experience. So I guess Sharpener did lot of help for me in my career wise, and yeah, so it helped me join Baliza as well. Yeah.
Awesome, Amit. So Amit, coming to my question also, as in we would also want to understand how were you planning your day, as in
I'm sorry I missed that one. Yeah. I got a plate, and then I would just look at some LinkedIn updates where they would post any job updates or something, and apply elsewhere. And then by afternoon or late evening, I would start on the Sharpener course, do some stuff, and then go back to searching jobs, or just my daily activity like any other thing. Well, our initial days, the Sharpener activity would be very less for me. So the DSA part, I was pretty good at DSA, so the DSA part was was over very soon for me. But after that, the project part started, and then I was moving really slow with it because I was applying elsewhere as well. So I guess I mean, that was pretty well. But after I mean, after a point, I got to know that applying on my own wouldn't work at all. So that's when I really focused on Sharpener, and my whole day, like most of the day, would consist of working on Sharpener. So in a day, I used to the whole projects. I guess in front end we had four projects. The whole project would be completed around 1 or 1.5 day. Like that's how I used to work. When I got to know that this is the way I had to move forward, and yeah, that's what I did.
Getting so Amit, like definitely, you definitely had an advantage. I'll say, like compared to a lot of other Sharpenerians, like you definitely had some advantage wherein you knew things from before. Okay, there are definitely things which would have come as an extra. Yeah. So guys, Amit's journey would roughly be of 3 months, which Sharpener is, as in 3 months he was able to finish the course. But I'll say कि you guys also don't get into the pressure कि मेरा तो 6 महीना हो गया है, मेरा तो like I've already done 5 months of the course and I'm still stuck. Okay, so don't compare yourself to Amith. Okay, he took 3 months. Okay, but it's fine. Okay, normally right now 4 to 5 months so like is very normal. Okay, so don't go back home thinking कि why am I not as smart as Amith? Yeah, guys.
I mean, doing it soon is not the solution. Actually, understanding the whole thing properly is the solution. So if you don't understand anything and you complete as soon as possible for you, and then move on to interviews, okay, somehow you'll finish the interview as well. You'll get placed. You'll start working in the company, and in the company you wouldn't be able to perform really well because you don't understand the basics properly, and because you just rapidly completed it out. So that will be a problem. Like completing the whole thing thoroughly is a great thing to do actually.
So go in depth, okay, guys. Like go in depth. Always, I'll say, question why are you even learning this, okay? And if you feel that this is something which should not be there in the course, like ask your mentor, okay? Why have you put this in the course, okay? You go and ask them, okay? Because like always question what you're learning. That is like question it in your mind, okay? Don't like always go there and ask each and everything, but you can ask it to your mentor, why is it this even there in the syllabus, okay? Because we've tried to keep this sharpness curriculum as crisp and as small as possible so that you can get up to speed and get a job as quickly as possible. Yeah, that's the main intention. So whatever is there, mostly like try to understand why it is there. Okay, why are you even using it? Okay, sure. Amith, I think a few more questions, guys. I'll ask Amith and then I'll open it up to you. You guys can start raising your hands. Guys, one more thing which I wanted to basically tell you guys is guys, like we've put the Instagram post on your WhatsApp link on your WhatsApp. Okay, so in case if anyone is looking out for the resume bit or anything, you can drop your email ID on the WhatsApp post. Okay, we'll send you Amith's resume. Okay, we'll remove his number obviously, but we'll send you his resume because a lot of you have been asking for Amith's resume. So we'll be giving it to you out as well, so that you can also see like his resume, how a good resume looks out for. But I'll tell you, the resume would not have a lot of things. Okay, Amith has prepared really well. Okay, that is the better part. His resume would mostly look like other Sharpenerians only. Amith, like, tell me about your resume as well. Like, anything extra which was there apart from like Sharpener's course which you put?
Well, nothing. I guess nothing extra as such. I was just. I mean, the experience. It all matters upon the experience which you have posted in the resume. You have to be thorough with it. Whatever you're. I mean, whatever. If you are using a word in the resume, you have to be true to it. Like, I mean, people say that you can fake on your resume and then move on. Like, yeah, that might be possible in some cases, but most of the cases you get caught. Like, people, interviewers will know that you're not what you say on your resume, and yeah, that's how most of the people lose the chances as well. But again, it's up to people. Like it's up to how they what pursue things. Yeah.
So, guys, yeah, like I think by experience, you definitely mean the projects, right, Amit?
Yeah. Projects
Because
or past experience. Yeah.
yeah, definitely, like your projects, you should be very thorough, as in, because a lot of I kind of get this question from a lot of founders as well. Okay, कि resumes तो सबके similar लग रहा है. Have they copied it and pasted it? Okay, so I normally tell the founders कि आप like just try one or two of them out. Okay, they'll 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 let you know. Okay, basically, like over here, it's very important that like basically your GitHub profiles all are different, right? So I normally tell them ki just try out one or two of them out. Okay, you'll be amazed by how much they know. Okay, as a fresher. Okay, they'll be the best fresher which you can interview in the market. Okay, so and that's how mostly most of the Sharpeners get placed. Okay, so yeah, be very thorough because normally the placement team is doing this only. They're overselling you. Okay, so yeah, like basically, it's very important that you're very thorough with your projects. Yeah. Uh, so, Amit,
I've seen people doing this. Like they work a lot on their GitHub profile more than their interview skills. Basically, like I mean, yeah, working on your GitHub profile is very great. Working on your projects, project skills, and all, but it also depends upon the way you talk to the interviewer. That's where the major thing happens, right? Like while joining a company, your interview is the major part. So you have done really good projects. You're good technically, but you can't speak. The like that won't lead you anywhere as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, both are good things. Having a balance of them is the perfect way to go, I guess.
but if you try communicating that, right, that also helps you become a better version of yourself. Okay, like that also helps you to go into much deeper. Okay, because that's also something which is which would basically make you prepare for all the edge cases. Okay, because when you're explaining, right, you'll always be scared कि अगर ये बंदा ये पूछ ले तो कैसे, how will I answer it? Yeah, if the guy asks me something else out of the topic, then how will I answer that? Okay, so that it's always good to help others. Okay, and also take help from others. Okay, that's also very nice. Okay, I've
Uh,
seen a lot of Sharpenerians improve their English like that by helping others. Yeah, so that also helps. Yeah. Okay. Amit, you want to say
People
something?
hesitate a lot about speaking in English. Like my English is not good. My English accent is not good. I mean, English is not our native language, right? It's fine if you don't speak well. Like that's what you're doing. Like you're in the process of understanding how we speak English. Like I mean, how to talk basically. That's really good. Like if you're trying, the trying is a great part. Not trying, like hesitating the whole thing. I mean, being shy about your English is not a good way to go. It's okay. Like if you make mistakes. I mean, people laugh at them. That's fine. But it'll be good for you. Like you'll learn English pretty well, and you'll do it really well. So that's what I feel. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. So, guys, I think last few questions. Okay, one cliche question is what I have is कि Amit would love to understand कि like this is a cliche question which we ask everyone is like what did you do after cracking the first offer? Who was the first person you called?
Well, I called my mom at first. Like I explained her like I got this job offer, but I mean, like I was not. I mean, yeah, I explained her the whole thing, and my. I mean, when I got the what offer letter, and the date of joining was the gap was around 20 days. So I was like, I mean, anything. I mean, I just went through a layoff, so I was like, anything might happen in this period as well. I was not sure about it as well, and that was a startup too. Like the, I mean, in LinkedIn there are just 10 to 15 people, I guess. So, like I was happy about it. Yeah, I was happy. I talked to my mom. I talked to my dad. Like I just conveyed this message. I talked to my friends that this happened, and I called you. I called you saying that yes, whether this company is authentic or not, I don't know. Like this is happening, but I mean, I mean, going past that, it's been a hell of a journey with this company, and I've learned a lot in just 2 months than I would ever in 1 year of my own time, and it's been really helping me out. And this company is great, actually. Yeah, that's what I would say.
I remember, Amit, like when we were onboarding this company, there was a typo also which had happened. Okay,
Yeah,
wherein the name of the company was Baliza, and by mistake, I think so, it was mentioned Balizo.
yeah.
Okay, and there were students who were asking if this company we cannot even find, like, where has this company come from? So yeah,
All the
I
more
think.
reasons to doubt. Yeah,
Good, good.
yeah.
As you know, ki all the other Sharpenerians, okay, are also about to start their journey into tech. Okay, they're also about to start their career. So, any piece of advice which you would want to give to them in order to prepare even better? Okay, like any piece of advice which you would want to give.
Well, pretty sure like everyone would be starting from the basics. That is DSA, or let's say basics of any tech stack you're working on, React or something. But the main thing is to be thorough with the basics. Like anyone can give a solution to the problem. So the way you give it, how efficiently you give it, is the main thing that people look into. So I guess like just be thorough with what you do in the DSA. Like even if you're just good at arrays, that's fine. Like be really thorough with arrays. I mean, whatever array problem might be given to you, just give the most efficient solution to it. That's the way to work. And coming to React as well, because I can talk about front end because I've just worked on front end till now. So coming to React as well, I mean, looking at the abstract things like how React works, basically how a website works, that would really help you out. You might see that, you might think that it's not helpful. Like, I mean, it's not needed for you, but there'll come a point where you'll need it, and you'll be like, why didn't I learn it before? And it would have been much easier for me. So coming to the main point, I just say just be thorough with the basics. Whatever you're learning, just be thorough with the basics.